Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. And for those of you who have not seen any of my videos, welcome to my channel. My name is Alejandro, and today's video is going to be kind of going over the performances and winners of the 2020 Grammys. The 4-hour telecast was absolutely way too long, so I'm just going to highlight some of like the parts I liked, some of the parts I didn't like, and why a 18-year-old won all major 4 categories at the Grammys. So just to dive right in, I guess I'll start off with my favorite performances. So there was about, I think, 14 performances last night, and there were some high highs and some pretty boring lows. So definitely want to start off with some of the amazing performances. We had Lizzo open up the show with "Cause I Love You" and "Truth Hurts," and I really kind of was hoping that she wouldn't do "Truth Hurts," but I guess that was wishful thinking. The song was nominated for 3 awards, so I guess it makes some sense that she performs that one, but I would have loved to have rather seen "Good as Hell" instead to promote the actual new single. She did amazing. I thought that was a great performance. The Jonas Brothers performed a new song, 5 More Minutes, and "What a Man Gotta Do." Both tracks are off their new album, I believe, if I remember correctly. The performance was cute. It wasn't anything amazing. They put on a good show, but I feel like in award show performances, they just look kind of bland because it's just the 3 of them. They never really have anything going on. But I mean, the show, like, their shows are good. When I saw them, it was a good show. Tyler, the Creator, had a really good performance. The only critique on it I have is that I felt like it was very Kendrick Lamar inspired. It was very like trying to make a political statement type of thing. Apart from that, I thought the performance was really cool. The cinematography that they did, the camera work that they did, shaking the camera and letting the camera tip over and stuff, all of that was really cool effects that have made the performance, well, elevated the performance, I should say. Usher did a tribute to Prince, and I'm not going to say much on it. I'm not crazy about it. I'm a little bit disappointed that they didn't get Janelle Monáe to do the Prince tribute, as she's constantly said that Prince has her biggest inspiration, but whatever. Camila Cabello brought me to literal tears. She sang "First Man" to her father, and I genuinely was sobbing. And then right after that, Tanya Tucker and Brandi Carlile performed one of my favorite songs of the last decade, "Bring My Flowers Now," and that was amazing as well. Ariana Grande performed "Imagine," "Seven Rings," and "Thank You Next." I wish she had done something different. I wasn't crazy about it. "Imagine's" probably my least favorite on her whole album. And "Thank You Next" just feels so old because it really is like 2 years old now at this point. Yeah, it's like it's around 2 years old. So it's like, I don't know, when she locked up she put her ring back in the box, I was like, this would have felt a lot more impactful and iconic if this had happened last year. But Billie Eilish did a very stripped down performance of "When the Party's Over" with her brother, as per usual, and that's also one of my favorite songs of the past decade. I think that song and "I Love You" were both valid contenders of what she was going to perform at the Grammys. Lil Nas X brought out like 30 people to perform "Old Town Road" and "Rodeo," and like he puts on a really good show, but sometimes I don't think it always works, and this time I don't think it all worked. His VMA performance was amazing. I loved it. He did Panini, and it was this whole futuristic thing. This one I just felt like it was very, no, try hard. I just didn't understand why BTS was with him. They brought Mason Ramsey for some reason. Diplo, who was just playing the guitar, I think. And I think that they could have had some other people come out. Demi Lovato stopped the show with her performance of her new single, "Anyone." And the song was beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful. I haven't listened to the studio recording of the song, but my only critique is, and I just have to come to learn to accept this, is I feel like Demi Lovato always screams in songs. Like, she's always yelling, but sometimes I want to be like, you're like at an 11, we need to come down to like at least an 8. Rosalia performed "Juro Que" and "Malamente," and I know that "Juro Que" is her new single, but I wish she would have done something a little bit different. I'm glad she at least transitioned to "Malamente." That worked. After seeing some of her performances at like the EMAs and stuff, I wish that there was a little bit more something something, but it was definitely one of the best of the evening by far. Gary Clark Jr. performed This Land with the Roots, and that's also one of my favorite songs. I loved the performance. Unfortunately, it does say a lot of bad words, so they did have to, like, mute out a lot of it, so that was a little bit disappointing. Vampire Weekend, Bon Iver, Lana Del Rey, all didn't get a chance to perform, even though they were all nominated for Album of the Year, so that was a little bit disappointing. And I felt like we lacked the presence of, like, big names. I know there were rumors that Taylor Swift was gonna perform, that she dropped out. Beyonce was supposed to attend. She dropped out. There were some rumors about Lady Gaga performing her new single. She didn't. So it was a mixture of some of those big names kind of not being there that also felt like it brought it down a bit. I wish that Grammys are usually known for kind of making these collaborations happen between people that normally don't collaborate. And I think they did do that with some people like BTS and Lil Nas X. But I would have preferred to see certain different people together. I think a performance of like Bad Idea by Ariana Grande with BTS would have been something interesting. A Lizzo and Ariana Grande performance would have been interesting. Billie and Rosalia are supposedly have a collaboration together. They would have been an interesting combination. There was just a couple of different people that we could have put together that I think could have done something pretty cool. Even maybe like doing something with Gary Clark Jr. and Jonas Brothers, or even Demi Lovato and the Jonas Brothers. There was a couple different people that we could have paired up with, and I think for starters it would have made A, the telecast shorter, and B, it would have also brought something different to the stages that you don't normally get at a standard award show. No one was like an amazing, iconic, I'm gonna remember this for 20 years performance. I think there were some beautiful ones. I think Lizzo, Rosalia, Billie, all are probably in the top 3 of that. It was just a little bit lackluster for someone to have to sit through 3.5 hours of this plus commercials. It's just like a lot to ask for some people, you know? So now I'm gonna dive into the winners and who I thought should have won. So as everyone now knows, Billie Eilish won for the big 4 categories: Album of the Year, Best New Artist, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. So I have my list of what I had predicted. My biggest prediction was Album of the Year for Billie. I got that correct. I thought that Old Town Road was going to walk away with Record of the Year. I had Billie as my 4th choice for Record of the Year. I thought Truth Hurts and Sunflower had a stronger chance over Bad Guy, just for Record of the Year. I actually didn't have a lot of faith in Bad Guy. I don't think it's a song. I think it's actually the weakest song on her album, and I think where her album shines is it's very cohesive, the producing's amazing. It's just not a very big vocally driven album. So I felt like I didn't think that the single song was going to take home much. But I think in an ideal world, Bad Guy shouldn't have won any of the song categories. I don't think it deserves any of the song categories. I think it's a good song, but I don't think it's anything fantastic. I think certain other people deserved it. I didn't have it for Song of the Year either. I had Truth Hurts actually as my choice, followed by Lover by Taylor Swift. So I thought those two had the biggest contention. The thing was, I thought Lizzo had a big chance because she was going to be there. It was a big song. The lyrics are very quotable. Everyone can recognize it. The other side on Lover was self-written. It was a moderate hit, written by a big name. So I thought Lover had a big shot too. I knew that Billie was probably going home with Best New Artist, so I had that unlocked. Pop Solo, I knew Truth Hurts was going to win. Out of the people who were there, even the people who were not there, I think Truth Hurts actually is the one that deserves Pop Solo the most. Pop Duo, I had Old Town Road as listed, which is who won. And Pop Vocal Album, I had Billie as the winner, but in an ideal world, I think Ariana Grande should have won Pop Vocal Album, but Billie could have won Album of the Year. I think Billie could have pulled in voters from other categories, and Ariana could just get the consensus of pop voters. As you can see, Lizzo won Pop Solo, but lost Record and Song, so they don't always correlate. I thought Her was going to win the R&B categories, though, for Could Have Been with Bryson Tiller. I was mistaken. JoJo took her first Grammy that way. I predicted A Lot by 21 Savage to take home rap song over the Nipsey Hussle song, which it did. And then Nipsey won for rap performance and rap song performance, which was expected. I was a little bit surprised that Willie Nelson won for best country solo performance, given that Tanya Tucker was nominated for so much more. I had her as my front runner. Old Town Road won for best music video, which is what I had predicted, but I would have loved to have seen Gary Clark Jr. walk away with the award. I had predicted that A Star Is Born and I'll Never Love Again would win for the visual media categories, and it did. Thank God. I wish they, I mean, I know that like that's not how the Grammys work, but I wish they had split some of the votes a little bit so that it was a little bit more scattered versus one person taking home all 4 awards. I like Billie. I don't know if she deserved all 4 of the main categories. Technically speaking, it hasn't happened since Norah Jones won, I think back in 2003, 4-ish, so almost 20 years. But she won for Song of the Year, and she didn't write the song, so she really only won 3 of the categories instead of 4. The last time that somebody won all 4 categories themselves was at Christopher Cross back in the 80s. It's just very shocking to me to see Billie Eilish going home with, you know, more than 5 Grammys. Like, she joins the likes of, like, Adele and Amy Winehouse, Norah Jones, Beyonce. Just Billie doesn't seem to be on that level, and I fear that we're hyping her up so much on her debut album that it's going to be kind of hard for her to follow up with it. So it's going to be interesting where her career path takes her from here on out. So we'll see. Until then, subscribe for more content. Comment below if there's anybody that you were shocked that didn't win anything, or if you disagree or agree with anything that I said, whether performances or winners. Like this video for more, and I'll see you guys later. Stay positive.